Hi, I'm Charlie Heller, and I'm here to teach you a thing or two about the coconut crab. The coconut crab, species name Bringus latro, is a close relative of the hermit crab. It's the largest extant terrestrial arthropod. In fact, it's as large as an animal with an exoskeleton can grow to be in Earth's modern climate. They weigh about 9 pounds, about the weight of a human head. Their carapace is about 3 inches long and 8 inches wide. Their leg span, however, is about a meter. To get an idea of how big that is, go ahead and stretch your arm all the way out. The distance from your fingertips to your sternum is about a meter. If that's not mind-blowing, take a look at these pictures.
Oh my god, is that crab on a trash can? That thing's huge! Wow, is that a crab on a tree next to a person? Those things are like the same size. I don't know about you, but I wasn't mentally prepared for that.
Coconut crabs come in a variety of gorgeous colors. There doesn't seem to be any clear advantage to being one color or another. Thankfully, these beautiful crabs exhibit no signs of racism. Now, these crabs possess neither lungs nor gills. Instead, they have an organ called a brachiostegal lung, which is sort of like a combination of the two. It doesn't allow the crab to be underwater for extended periods of time, but it needs to be moist in order to work. Like other decapods, coconut crabs have 5 pairs of legs. The first 2 are standard crab claws, albeit extremely large ones. These aid in consuming their prey. The second pair of legs are their longest and most dexterous. They use these to hang from tree trunks and branches. Their third and fourth pairs aid in terrestrial locomotion. However, the fourth pair functions differently during adolescence. These serve to grip their protective shells prior to their exodus from the ocean. Finally, the fifth pair of legs are specialized to keep the brachiostegal lung moist. Coconut crabs have an acute sense of smell. Unlike most arthropods, however, they've modified this sense to be usable on land. Their antennae function much like an insect's, and they're able to detect scents at minute quantities and from very far away. The coconut crab is commonly found in islands in the Indian and Western Pacific Oceans, as shown on this map. Now, these crabs require warm, humid environments in order to properly respire. They're commonly found up to 6 kilometers from the ocean and other bodies of water. But in order to conserve their humidity, they spend most of their time in underground burrows. These burrows are reinforced with coconut fibers and come complete with a hatch. By using their strong claws to close the burrows, they are able to effectively create a humid microclimate. How about that? These crabs tend to feed at night, although they've also been known to hunt during the day. Despite their name, coconut crabs can and will eat any source of food available, provided it doesn't run away. This primarily includes fruits, nuts, and seeds, but they'll also eat whatever meat is available, provided they're fast enough to catch it. Fun fact, they're thought to be the reason we never found Amelia Earhart. Now, I find this piece of history pretty interesting, so I'm going to talk about it for a few minutes. In case you're completely inept at history, Amelia Earhart was a pilot in the early 20th century who aspired to fly around the world. Pretty big deal back in the day. She had left from Honolulu and intended to arrive at Howland Island, but never did. Regardless of where she specifically crashed, her remains would have washed ashore eventually. The reason we never discovered any evidence of her demise is that the first party to discover her was probably coconut crabs. They promptly consumed her remains and hid her bones in their burrows, axe murderer style. Alright, back to the coconut crab. These crabs live for approximately 40 to 60 years, during which time they lead almost completely solitary lives. However, between May and September, they gladly make several rapid exceptions with members of the opposite sex. They mate in the water, allowing their eggs to be dispersed into the ocean. Now, while the image being displayed isn't of B. latro, it is of a closely related hermit crab species. Initially, the planktonic larvae will go through 3 to 5 zoea stages prior to morphing into a recognizable hermit crab shape at roughly 1 month of age. At this time, they will behave like other hermit crabs. They'll migrate to a shoreline and adopt a gastropod shell as protection. As they age, their shells will increase in thickness, and at about a year of age, they'll leave the water for good. They then reach sexual maturity at the age of 5, and full size at the age of 10. Coconut crabs have only one known predator: humans. We and the crab share a long and bitter history filled with bloodshed. We hunt them wherever we live with them. In some areas, it's considered both a delicacy and an aphrodisiac. In fact, they're so overhunted in some areas that there have been movements to list them as a protected species. Now I know the question you're all thinking. Charlie, can I keep one as a pet? Well, it's not impossible. This guy owns two by the names of Tatros the Terror and, creatively, Tatros the Terror Jr. However, I was unable to get an interview with him. So, strictly speaking, there's no law against keeping one in America. However, good luck finding a pet store that sells them. They're difficult to rear since they require a variety of habitats in their early life, which makes them difficult to raise in captivity. Also, they're not exactly kid-friendly. The only method of communicating seems to be through sharp, quick gestures with their second legs, which seems to be the crab equivalent of giving a person the bird. And even if you did manage to overcome those hurdles, they probably wouldn't be easy to keep. You'd need to provide them with a diet of fresh fruit daily, not to mention a hot and humid living area, complete with a burrow and things for them to climb on. And even if you could do that, and if you could keep it from dying from unnatural causes, yet another hurdle, you'd made a 40 to 60 year commitment to an animal that is incapable of loving you. So if you seriously want one, think long and hard about it. That said, I've totally thought long and hard about it. I'm going to get one. I'm name him Fluffy. He'll be my guard crab. It's going to be awesome. So, in short, we've learned that the coconut crab is a beautiful, majestic, amorous, dangerous, and many other descriptive adjectives creature. On a whole, they're awesome. They're like Klingons. And that's pretty cool.